Hey guys, Ian here with White Pine Living, and I want to welcome a friend of mine, Mayor VanCamp, who's been nice enough to come and sit down with us today. And she's got some exciting stuff to talk about that a lot of people probably didn't know. Before we get into that, for those people that don't know you, how long have you been here?
I am a native of Ely. I was born and raised here all 64 years. So
That's awesome. And your family?
my family is here. My mother and dad were born and raised here too, and so were their parents came from back east to work in the mines. So
awesome.
We're a long time mining industry family.
Yeah, native Nevadans.
Yes,
I love
native.
It. My family moved to Carson City in 1955. My great-grandparents, and then they've been there ever since, deeply rooted. We love living here in this state.
And now you're
awesome.
back.
Hey, well, I just stayed in Carson and moved right up here, so we love it here, man. It's a great place to live. And so, how long have you been serving as mayor?
Our past mayor passed away in office. And so I continued to serve his term, which was a year and a half. That was back in 2014. So I have about 2 years and a month left on my term.
Okay.
I ran for office and won. So.
Hey, well, that's a good sign. So, all right, well, let's talk about some of these things that you're excited about that maybe people don't know. Maybe. So I'm taking my trash out, I'm throwing it in there, and I just expect that it goes to the landfill and everything is fine. I had somebody ask me, what about recycling? And I actually didn't have an answer for them because I don't know if we do anything about that.
And yes, we do. We been working. City of Ely does have its own recycling center now.
Okay.
It all came about in October when we finally opened it. But a year prior to that, we formed a recycling committee. We worked for a year on it, trying to figure out the best place to put a recycling center. We worked with Tony Locke, who is with J&M Trucking. He started the recycling in our area. And so with his expertise and his coaching, we had people from the county, their representatives, and of course, city representatives. Paul Haldaway does the metal pile. So we had several people interested, and we formed this committee, got it going, and we were so excited. In October of last year, we opened up our recycling center.
Oh, that's neat.
So, and we are accepting, of course, we always accept metal up there, but we accept cardboard, plastics, paper, aluminum cans, and of course tin cans.
Okay. Now, just logistically speaking, is this something that I can sign up for and have containers at my house, or do I need to be taking it out to the facility?
If you were in Las Vegas or a big area, you could do that, but we are not. We do not have curb pickup yet. Okay. So you're on your own yet. It's one of these days, but you're on your own.
Okey-doke.
You have to bring it to the recycling center yourself.
Okay.
And very important to do.
Where's the recycling center?
It's out at the landfill, and it's
It's
in your face, big signs all over.
Okay.
And we've made it really easy. You can just drive right up and dump everything, and then you can go through the landfill to drop your household
Nice.
garbage.
That's awesome. How much separating and sorting do I need to do before I get there and do that? The more the merrier?
It helps, but it's baby steps with our recycling center because we're just trying to work out all the bugs. Right now, we ask that you separate the aluminum cans.
Okay.
A lot of people don't realize if you tear the labels off, the paper is also recyclable. Same thing with the tin cans. We've got that needs to be separated. Right now, we would hope that everybody would rinse their plastics, as in milk cartons, your Tide bottles, but all that stuff, because it does sit for a few days, but it makes it easier if everything's rinsed. And then, of course, the cardboard, paper. we're just happy. If you don't want to rinse the stuff, that's okay, but you get into that mode and it just makes it easier, especially if you're storing that stuff at your house for a week or so. And so not much right now. We're baling all the plastics together. We are not separating the plastics right now until we kind of get used to kind of deciding how we're going to do it. There's a lot of storage involved. So
Start small.
But we're starting small. And I do have to say one thing is every month we have been increasing the capacity of the cardboard that we're baling. So, people are on board.
Wonderful.
The best thing of all, last year, it's been a year, but I contacted the prison. They got on board on our committee. We got the prison involved, and they're saving their paper and cardboard. And prior to the prison recycling, since the beginning of, when the prison was built to last year, the prison dumped in excess of 4 million pounds of cardboard in our landfill.
Whoa.
Not anymore. We're there, but they bring a couple of tons a month of cardboard in. So you can imagine,
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Okay, so I want to address something because it's something that I have since had to cope with. I know that we have a pretty heavy population of conservative, some rednecks out there, and we are not typically down with the word recycling. We tend to think, oh God, no, we're saving trees here. Do we really have to worry about this? And first of all, I really appreciate that this isn't being, we're not California-izing this. We're not shoving it down our throats and making us all miserable behind the Iron Curtain. It's simply an option that actually is really great if enough of us get behind it. And it has purpose besides being a hippie and running around saving the planet. So talk about that. What are the benefits to that? First of all, the prison isn't dumping 4 million pounds.
Well, not anymore. Not anymore. They're dumping all their cardboard and paper right now. The rest of the stuff, we're not in that realm right yet.
So just so we understand, the landfill is not a bottomless pit that'll never run out that I can continue to fill. Is that correct?
I don't think a lot of people realize that we have to have a super fund in place, and we got to throw a lot of money at it because one of these days the landfill's going to fill up. We won't be able to discard any more garbage in there. So that means we have to cover it up, reclaim the land, and then find a new place to start a new landfill.
Right.
There's more government regulations now than ever. Who knows what's going to happen in another 20 years?
Yes.
So it's we really need to address, and if we can recycle now, we're just going to add years on to, the landfill not being filled up.
Yeah.
So it's really important. And the money that we put into this super fund will never be enough. It's going to cost millions and millions.
Yeah, you got to purchase land. You've got to
everything.
Put in the infrastructure.
It's a lot of money. So,
it's no
and
joke.
I know a lot of people say, it's 60 years away. Well, you know what? We need to be thinking now.
Time's flying.
Yes.
And inflation's going up. So
yes,
what we have saved today might
there'll be a drop in the bucket.
Yes.
So it's important.
Yes.
So we're starting now. And I might say a lot of my customers that come into my shop, a lot of them, they're going to work for the prison as correctional officers, and a lot of them come from the California area, the Las Vegas area. And one of the many questions is, where's your recycling center? Do you recycle? Where's the curb pickup?
Yeah. Well, that's probably the hurdle that's eventually going to have to be addressed at some point, is that we're lazy people. We're also busy people, and so, and just in my case, I'm both. So it's harder for me to put the time together to go and do that. So
it takes minutes, though.
You're right.
It only takes a few minutes.
Now, let's deal with another one that everybody's kind of, I'm new to town. I've been here, it'll be 3 years in July. but I've been here long enough to hear this come up a few times. People are afraid to drink the water.
What?
And it's weird for me because I grew up here in Nevada and I know better. We got beautiful mountains. We are not living in LA. It's not the same kind of thing. So tell me about the water.
You can open that spigot and drink the water. It's probably the best water. I mean, we've really got fabulous mountain clean water.
Yes.
And
It's amazing.
you can open up, and that's why I don't buy all that bottled water. Aside from recycling, we want to reduce.
Yeah.
So you get the water bottle, you open up your tap, your sink, and fill it up.
Yeah.
And that's a really big deal. Is you got to think before you buy that
Yeah.
you need to reduce.
Yeah,
But we have
it's
wonderful water.
It's just not necessary to buy a case of water for the house.
And I know, again, when we've worked on, right now the city is working on several different areas on the sewer lines, the water lines, and you might see, the city crews coming around and asking you to boil water. That's only because we're working on lines. And we're just kind of clearing it out, flushing it out. So that comes here and there during construction. But other than that, we've got the best water in the state.
So stop panicking.
Don't worry about
Stop
it.
panicking. Dude, I've seen it happen. All of a sudden, we get the notice on the door. I go to Ridley's, and suddenly there's no water left in the whole town. Everybody's like, oh, God, we're being poisoned.
We have wonderful water.
Okay. So now there's some fun events going on, actually ongoing right now in terms of recycling. You guys have an art thing going on?
To promote and educate everybody on recycling. This is an annual event. It's the mayor's second annual recycling art contest. We invited everybody from classrooms as a group, from kindergarten all the way through adult. And the White Pine Public Museum has been graciously in letting us display the artwork for the month of May, for April, because Earth Day was April 22nd. So we're celebrating our wonderful Mother Earth, and so it's been really good. We had a lot of participants this year from the high school and a lot of adult participation. And so everybody's invited. You can still got another week. You can see what people have done with your trash.
That's awesome.
And so we'll do it again next year, but we're trying to get the word out about how important it is to recycle.
Yeah, I think it's a good thing. It's going to give some longevity to our city, and we need the longevity because we've got some good days ahead of us as a city. I think I'm pretty excited about stuff that's happening. We're growing, and that's about all we've got to talk about today. I hope we'll have you come back some more. We got
come
lots
back.
to talk about.
The city is a happening little city, and we've got lots going on. A lot of things are coming up, and we're doing great things. But I appreciate you having me today because this is near and dear to me, and I would just like to, one other thing real fast.
Go ahead.
I started recycling when J&M Trucking first opened it up. There were 2 adults, 2 dogs, and a cat in my household. And I went from a bag of garbage a day and 2 and 3 extra bags on the weekend to, after recycling, to a half a bag of garbage a week because everything else I had was recycling.
Wow.
And I also compost in the summer. So now my garbage is getting down to a quarter of a bag, and I'm just finding I have to throw that bag out finally because, it starts to smell. But I don't think you realize how much you can reduce,
until you
start. So
through it. Sure.
Everybody needs to start.
I'm down. Well, thank you for taking the time to watch. If you have any questions, I'll put the mayor's contact info up so you can get in touch with her. And
thank you again for having me.
It is my pleasure. We'll see you guys later.